One of the most challenging things about doing London Elektricity live was the whole idea of how to play sample-based music on stage and make it sound exciting.
Previously, in the past, when people tend to play computer-generated music and tend to take it live, there tends to always be some sort of playback.
Like, I think the whole playback thing, I think people make drum and bass into a massive big deal that it isn't. I mean, it's just music that you play. Just the fact that it's made on computer doesn't mean that it's difficult to replicate, because you just learn it like any other form of music.
If you're playing live with no click and no backing track, then things change and you can push things.
It really was about making a live band in the sense of being ultimately rhythmically tempo live, and also the ability to be structurally live as well.
It's really important for a live band to be able to speed up and slow down when they need to, because when a crowd are going crazy to your music, you instinctively want to play faster.
I think the majority of the time, sometimes the set with London Elektricity can be anything from like 170 BPM at the slow point to like 190 plus, maybe more sometimes, when it's really fast and there's a lot of adrenaline.
Some drum and bass drummers, George, right, they'll play like an amen, like, that still sounds alright. When you're playing like everything, it fucking takes it out of you, man.
Musicians have to play with the sample, and really what's happening here is we're playing with the musicians, and the musicians feed off how we play. So it's a live dynamic in that sense.
Now I'm really, really praying that I haven't crashed my sampler. We've got like 2 hours worth of music now, and there's about 1,300 samples, all in this Akai, which is a really old piece of equipment. It's almost 7 or 8 years old. This is not good. Sampler's crashed.
Really?
Yeah.
You saved everything.
Now there's a 16-bar big sample, which is from a prog rock album by Arthur Brown and Vincent Crane. It's 16 bars, it's like horns. It goes da 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 ba da ba ba, and it's got all these bits on a wicked bit at the end. It goes da 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 da, and it's like the tune's built around that. To do that live, we had to cut that up into loads and loads and loads of slices.
So this is a piece of software we use quite frequently in the chopping up of samples in order to place them onto the MIDI keyboard and onto the pads that I play, so that we can chop them into individual hits or splices, as we call them, so that when we play them back, that we can play back at variable tempos with the band. But this has been a very popular piece of software to be able to chop up individual cuts very quickly. So you can see I'm just like, I can then place these all over the keyboard.
I then have to play those slices in time with the jungle drummer, and it comes out something like this. That's the first 4 slices. Got that on the first note. And then it goes. So it goes. Well, that way we can all stay in time. And it's the end bit, which is wicked, it goes. So you do your build up.
One of the other things that's good about the pads is they're quite visual. People in the audience can immediately see that that sound is related to that, you know, musician playing it, and it just really helps people to connect with what's going on. So I have samples on these pads, and that's all come from a loop, and I can then recreate that loop by simply playing them.
It's not about playing one beat or having things playing that you play over the top of as some like insurance policy. You've got to play the instrument heavy. You've got to smash the shit out of it if you have to. Smash the shit out of the drums, play the bass as hard as you fucking can, but that's what makes drum and bass.
London Electricity's music is it is intensely musical sometimes. I've tried really hard to make it not so, but I can't fight it any longer, and this album I'm just letting go. I've got to finish the album by the middle of April so we can actually learn it live and start playing it live in May. So I hope it doesn't all go horribly wrong. We'll see.
This is the start, right now.
Today is our very first rehearsal for, well, we haven't rehearsed for a year, and we haven't even seen each other since last November.
Hello.
Today's little rhythm section rehearsal with Landslide, Andy and Jungle and me. We're doing 3 days of just learning the new material, getting the rhythm section sorted and tight, and then next week Leanne and Rec will be joining us.
My fingers are getting abused again. It's all about abuse. Fast, loud, oral and physical abuse.
It's our first day of rehearsing, and I mean, we haven't really worked out the structures, but just the feel, I think, is wicked.
The longer I play sometimes, the easier it gets, because my body gets warm. But it's playing with that intensity straight off is really fucking, like, it's difficult.
The only other time we've really properly rehearsed was in 2003, about February 2003, and it took forever to learn one tune.
And it's really easy now. It used to be quite hard. We used to have to spend a lot of time working out sections, getting the feel right, but we've been playing for so long, it's really simple, actually quite frighteningly simple.
Because unless you give it everything, it sounds weak. That's like, and you can't, because people use computers, innit, you can't afford the beats to sound weak though, innit, when you're playing it live.
This is the jungle drum playing drums.
Keep the noise down, please. Keep the noise down.
Hey!
It's really, really lovely to see everybody again. It's just like straight back into the insults straight away. There's nothing, you know.
Easy. Easy, white boy.
Got the whole band back now, which is wicked, all together. And it's just been a nice morning. First rehearsal with the whole band, everybody just kind of getting to know each other again, which took about 3 seconds.
Yes, please.
Have you been doing your pelvic floor exercises?
Yeah. Rex singing for the first time. That's his new thing for 2005, is to actually sing rather than just MC. And he's like, he's well brave about it, you know, he's just going for it and doing it.
Wicked. I think the album now
This album sounds much better than... I mean, I love the last one, don't get me wrong, the one before, but this album is a different level. Like, it's, hopefully it will take us to another place as well, get to a bigger audience, not just drum and bass. And I think it sounds amazing. Like, you know, it's not just drum and bass tunes, it's proper songs, and that's what it's about. It's taking it to another level, and I reckon this album, you know, is the one.
Oh, that was dark. That was just really dark.
What I've just been wearing.
That is the dog.
Ah! Touch me! Ah!
Get off! Get off!
He does, no talking. Oh, he's coming outside.
It's the new one. Today, we're doing a photo shoot for the cover artwork of the album. It's a bunch of very different people. It's a freak show, so no one's really fit, and that's good. That's what works for us.
Don't you see that? Or see me on my own? Is it my imagination or my paranoid zone? Is it the world we live in the land to be wrong? Yeah, they're watching. I think they're gonna tap my phone like
Well done, everybody. Well done, team. Let's go outside and have a split.
They've been caught smoking weed. The great criminal offence, the lawbreakers in the band.
Good one for the blog, isn't it?
Some bloke without a life is giving Jungle a hard time for a tiny, weeny bit of weed. In Brixton, in Electric Lane, what is going on? And he's giving him attitude.
Please, just please, like, I'm not trying to be difficult. That guy has been like really out of order, man. Like, I know what we're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
I apologise to him, but he's making out like I'm off my head. I'm crazy. Like I've had 3 hours sleep. No, listen. My band, yeah, we're in the middle of doing a photo shoot.
Jungle, you look like a policeman.
Same clothes.
They love him. They're trying to recruit him.
He's getting recruited.
What did you say?
He goes, oh, Elektricity, $1 billion gravy, I've got that.
You didn't?
I feel dirty. Policeman's bought $1 billion gravy. That's dirty.
You sell to the police.
So I'll show you the best bit. I want this on camera. I want this on camera. I want this on camera. Come with me. I want this on camera.
Got it back.
What drew me to drum and bass was the energy in the beats. The beats sort of blew my mind. Like when I first heard jungle music, it was like amazing the effect it had.
I love that you could go to a rave and there'd be loads of white people, loads of black people, loads of Asian people, from everywhere, and I hadn't really experienced that before.
For me, the idea of doing it live, especially working with people like Leanne, who's obviously who she is, and Chris, the tempo he can play, is that we were just going to play fast music, and that's exciting.
Tony sort of showed me that you can fit all types of music into it, which really appealed to me. That's where it all started for me.
If you're kind of an eclectic person or a musically schizophrenic person, you can get by in drum and bass because almost anything is allowed. And by that I mean you can do an electro style tune, you can do a rock style tune, you can do a techno style tune, you can do a classical soundtrack style tune, and you can do a soulful deep house style tune, and they're all drum and bass, And as long as you get the mix downs right, and as long as you get it sounding right, and you get it structured right, it will go off in a club.
That's gonna fucking annihilate places.
That is next level.
Fucking hell.
Andy, your bass sounds fucking amazing, mate.
Yeah. Andy's bass is anorexic.
Playing so hard, it's something just gives. And you've got to just push past it.
It's got to be played with fucking intensity. Because if it isn't intense, it ain't proper drum and bass. It's not proper jungle. Right, man, I stretched it.
Yeah. Don't vomit on your drums.
I think until we go and play a gig now, we're not probably creatively sort of adding anything more. What we need to do now is just go and gig for probably, you know, do these next set of 10 gigs, and the music will get better as we do them.
It's like all of us are growing, man. It's absolutely wicked. You know, we had our last show in November last year. It's pretty fucking emotional, actually. That was really fucking cheesy. I really hate it when, because there are so many reality shows on TV, and I really hate it when they show someone breaking down because it looks shit, and you think that shouldn't be shown on telly because that's fucking embarrassing. I just fucking cried on camera, Jungle. Can you imagine that?
Oh my god.
Fucking hell. It's so embarrassing.
I'd like to be the person to come in here.
I know. Can't believe it. Better than I felt yesterday. Now I feel wicked. I think we're ready. No, it was wicked today because Stev came down. Stev's our new sound man, and the band really like him. They're really warm to him. And also, Jungle's now using in-ear monitors. That means that he doesn't have to have like 5 enormous wedges either side of his head when we do a gig.
I fucking hate him. It's the worst thing that I've ever done since I've been in music.
It means that he's got all of our samples in his headphones, and hopefully it won't. What I'm hoping is that it won't look like he's playing to a click, because that would be a nightmare, because he never does that. Absolutely amazing last night. As you know, we were very nervous about it, and we didn't know how many people were going to come, and we smashed it.
The live show for Hospital, for London Elektricity, you know, you've got all the different elements. You know, the drummer, the singer, keyboard, you know, the whole thing, the drumming, the whole thing, the whole musical aspect, and it's so fresh, especially in drum and bass. It's good to see, and there's only a few people that are doing that side of things. So it's great. It's nice to see that.
As well, 100% live, that does sometimes mean we encounter technical problems. But it's nice to have a big technical problem at the beginning of the show before we've even started, because that means it's not actually going to interrupt the set. So, Steph, we've got nothing on output 2 from the sampler, mate. I'd like like to introduce you all to Stev. He's our new London Electricity sound man. Say hello to Stev.
Hello, Stev.
Alright, Steve. Yes, Steve.
Hi,
What's the matter? What you saying? Nothing. Alright. Yeah, man, what you saying?
It's the first live drum and bass thing I've done. I do sound for drum and bass loads, and I do a lot of live bands, but obviously I don't do any other live drum and bass because there ain't any. That one is very quiet, it seems. Just the one that's just a sub.
Right.
It's just a lower level than the other one slightly.
Okay, I'll take down the...
Volume is the biggest challenge, getting the volume as loud as you can possibly get it without it breaking up. Because a lot of the time we go on after a DJ, and DJs are playing finished, compressed pieces of music that can be really, really, really loud. And then I've got to try and squeeze a live band up to the same volume. That's the hardest thing about it. 26 channel mix with 4 effects.
I think that Stev is very good for our morale, actually.
He smashed it.
He's just fitted in nicely.
Without trying too hard.
Drummer, Jungle, he's about the biggest pain in the arse with his band, really. Apart from him, just getting him to get his shit set up on time and stop moaning about it. When he's done that, it's all good, but that takes longer than sound checking the band.
That's him sound checking the hi-hat. Can you do the hi-hat, please? Can you do the bass drum, please? What's the bass drum?
You have a break. 10 minutes of playing and my sound check's done. Unlike you, 2 hours of setting up, half an hour of playing, and then you still play.
Enjoy the crap out of it.
There's a job to be done here.
Unlike Sam, I actually enjoy playing drum and bass, Andy.
I fucking hate
Where are you
going? Andy Waterworth. He's one of the most gentle, genuine people I've ever met. I love him. He's just a big smiler, and he's musically and emotionally sensitive to a beautiful degree.
Grumpy. Grumpy. Grumpy.
We all went through different stages, you know, and I've always been someone who just sort of can see the funny side of things. Spent a lot of time laughing.
Andy's one of the three amigos, isn't it? At the back, taking a piss, having a smoke, me, Jungle and Andy. Andy's like a seasoned vet professional. He's been there, he's done that, he's got a t-shirt. He's done Wembley Stadium with Paul Weller, he's done football stadiums in Nairobi, Kenya. He's a seasoned vet, man. There's nothing that Andy's saw with us that he hasn't seen before on the road. You know what I mean? He's done it, man. When he goes on stage, he gives it 110%. And when they're looking around the stage, he's always the guy that's smiling the most and just having a laugh, do you know what I mean? And he's just about the fun of it, do you know what I mean? He really is. He thinks even if you have a shit day, it all counts about the show. You can have a shit day, but if the show's wicked, it kind of makes up for it.
Always have my feet firmly placed on the ground and my head in the sky. So I'm stretching between the two worlds. It's a happy medium.
It's a deep one, Andy.
Do you think that's deep? That's a good one though, isn't it? I just made that up just then.
He's my bedroom, godfather to his kids, and we've worked with each other for like a few years. Did like Shake Your Body with Shy FX and a couple of different things.
We're just waiting for the people who play samples to get their shit together.
Yeah, that's how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
See, when you're me or him, we can just get on there and do it. But these keyboard players, they just don't understand.
What's the partnership between the drum and the bass?
The rhythm section's a bit of a weird one, because me and Andy never actually really talk about what we're going to do. We never say, right, let's do that bit. We've never done that once in like maybe 200 shows or something.
Who leads it? Who leads the rhythm section? I don't know if it's led. I mean, we just encourage each other to have it.
Our relationship is different from the others because we like football.
Yeah.
And the rest of the band don't. They're just fucking like quite old, bitter, resentful people.
We like football and WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
Andy and me have got a really funny relationship because I don't get Andy's jokes most of the time, and sometimes I think he's really taking the piss out of me when he isn't. So I can't read Andy. It's like we realised just now that our song I Don't Understand is actually about my relationship with Andy.
To be honest with you, Tone, I'm quite relieved.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been a bit hard work for me, to be honest. Finding
Is that all you can? Is that all of you? You can all say that, just like, that you're relieved, and after all this time. It's supposed to be like a big shot. He's very patient as well, because some of the tunes, there isn't room for him to express himself because he has to hold down a rolling bass line, and also some of the tunes I double up on bass, and that means that, you know, the sound is so big that you can't tell if you're in the crowd whether it's me playing the samples or Andy playing, and it must be a bit frustrating for him. So he's really patient, but then there's other tunes where he can really just shine.
I love his playing. It's amazing. I just think it's so rich and warm, and then it can hit you right in the what's-its, you know.
If you're playing live with no click and no backing track, then things change, and you can push things. So things did get faster because it's drum and bass music. I mean, it was just, you know, it is drum led in a way because the drums are so busy, but the bass has just got to hold it down. Hold it down, keep it heavy.
I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world.
Yeah, tonight, second night at the Jazz Cafe, fourth gig with the new set, and we cracked it all apart from one tune. Well, that's not bad after 4 gigs.
It was a spin out roast. It was a spin out. I'm like, that's the first time I've actually watched the show. It was just like, it was a bit deep, man. Just like hearing stuff that I didn't know at all, and other stuff that I knew, like the back of my fucking hand. Just like, what am I really watching here? It's just like, it was deep, man. It was deep. Do you miss not being with them anymore? Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I ain't no secret of that. Everybody knows that. It's mad, just, you know, I went out and giving hugs and shit to everybody when I see them and stuff. Just like, fucking hell, man. I miss it. Definitely. They're not all insane, man. They're all fucking nuts, man. But that's cool, because I'm mad too. Was it like Hanging Rock or something like that? Yeah. Something like that. I don't know, that was nuts. And like there's some next one about the third or fourth tune. Andy was just going Garrity on the old bass. I was just like, but yeah, man. That was nuts.
Best kept to yourself, after you slept with, even disrespected. Reminisce of this, get the night, get texted. That secret after secret means night after night, and night after night means you can't comply, yo.
This live thing is just so weird, and in the spin that it actually puts on tunes. It's just like, even from the second album, from Winning the Wave, it's just like, there were 3 tunes on there, so I could say that I really like. But in the live show, I like them all.
Strangest secret in the world.
Trust me.
Talk to Leanne about very good news today. She's very good news.
What news have you got for us today?
Oh, I've already been nominated for Best of Jazz Award, BBC Jazz Awards, and I found out today that I've been nominated for BBC Jazz Vocalist of the Year in the top 3. Okay.
Serious.
I'm really chuffed at that.
When did you find out? Today?
Today, yeah. Paul Gambaccini read it out. Yeah, and I couldn't believe it was my name. It was like, wow.
She's unbelievable. She's like Britain's best kept secret. She has taught me so much. She's been the best sort of sparring partner that I could have had up front.
One of the most I think gifted musicians that exist like in England, like in everywhere. Could go to America, could do anything she wanted to do.
Lovely, yeah. She's just good fun to be around.
You fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. You fucking.
Just being able to watch what she does, listen to her sing, watch her play the keyboards has always been a unique experience, and I think that's been sort of one of the cornerstones of the live project is Leanne's presence on stage.
And we do smash it on stage, and when we do it right, we really do it right, and when we know what we're doing, we really know what we're doing. And when we get it wrong, it's all right, because we get it really wrong, and that's okay. And maybe it's usually just one person gets it really wrong, and that's all right, because it's just been absolutely amazing.
Like, to just do gigs with Leanne night in, night out was a fucking honour. She is a jazz legend, isn't it?
As you can hear, the voice is in fine fettle. Just since I did Ronnie Scott's in April, I lost 2 octaves. Like, la 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 la.
She's a great performer, and that's her as well that you see on stage. That's what you want to see. You want to see like people being real.
I'm constantly amazed that, kind of amazed that she wants to be in this band, because she's, in many ways, and you look at it from one angle, and she's like, her own solo shows are so incredible that why does she need to do London Electricity, a drum and bass band? But she gets, I think she gets a lot from it.
Just the audience, just going out on stage, right, and we were all nervous, did the sound check, and it was like something new, and then we went out on stage, just a sea of having it bodies. They were just like so up for it, and it was, I've not really experienced that immediate sort of like, it was love, really, it was. And I don't mean that's in any corny way. It was like, it's love in its purest way. They were just going to trust us to do what we did, and we did it. And that has evolved with the band.
She's like so young inside, it's fucking brilliant, and she's got like a mad aura about her. She's totally different. When Leanne walks in the room, it just sort of changes the room. I'm getting a little cheesy, Leanne. If you're watching this, you'll be like, oh.
And thank God she loves it. She absolutely loves doing it. There would be no LE without Leanne.
No, I'm premenstrual. Wicked. Look out.
Look out, premenstrual's about.
Wicked. Where have we been recently? Were we abroad? Oh, we went to Austria. Aberdeen was fantastic because we were so tired. We were really, really tired. We were sleep deprived, and it was like one of my favourite gigs we've ever done. It was just one of my favourite gigs. I loved it. Really good. We were all so tired, and there was no energy in anyone, and we were all almost everyone was a little bit tearful almost because we were so tired.
That day we got up about 4 a.m. on a Thursday to go to Vienna. Had really early flights in Vienna from 9 a.m, had a bit of sleep, and then that was it on the Friday. Did a show, did a gig, left the venue, went to the fucking airport, then waited in Heathrow for 6.5 hours to get a plane, then went to Aberdeen, then sound checked, then had no sleep, then did a gig, and it was a really good show, man.
It was just all of a sudden a big love with the band, you know? We all trusted each other and fell on each other, and we just did a really energised gig. I don't know where it came from, and then it...
Like, let out a lot of tension, a lot of tiredness, and it was really quick, and yeah, it just was a wicked show.
And I've got no recollection of it whatsoever. I know that we did it. I don't remember anything about it. I immediately then went off to America after we got back from Wrexham for a week, and then I got off the plane this morning from Washington to come here.
It does take it out of you, man. It's fucking drum and bass, and it's got faster since like last year. And the travelling, like, and having about 3 hours sleep, and everything that comes with it. It's amazing though, man. And that's the thing, when you're not actually on the road or whatever, you're not performing, that's when it all seems to come out. When you're performing, like, and you're tired, it's adrenaline that gets you through everything.
Lancelot's pregnant, and he's going to give birth at any time, actually. So could happen today.
I'm going to have a baby. As you can see, I'm quite pregnant, and I'm due about July the 3rd. So, being a responsible parent, I have got Michael in to cover me as a dep, and Michael will be doing the next 4 gigs, including Italy, Glastonbury, Exeter and Montreux.
Who is Michael Bunce? That's the name of a book, isn't it? Who is Michael Bunce?
Who is that?
Michael Bunce is a kind of like clone of Landslide.
So I'm here tonight. This is Michael's first rehearsal with the band. He's never played with the band before.
Sorry, Michael.
You have to watch it all.
Oh dear.
That's Landslide.
Alien Jungle.
All he's had is some pikey old scratch CDs, a few random live recordings, and he's learned all the parts. 17 songs in like 5 days.
Landslide would pick up a stone and be like that, but Michael Bunce, he could throw one in the sea for me, really. He's like the new improved, yeah. He's like Dolph Lundgren in Rocky 3. He's going to get well jealous, isn't he, at some point in the show.
First time he's played through Song in the Key of Knife, because we didn't even have a live recording for that, so...
Well, yeah, we wait and see though. We wait and see for tonight's gig, definitely, because it's been intense for the last week. But yeah, just to wait and see how it goes. What I'm going to do tonight is basically work with Tim. I'll try and do as many numbers as I can. Any that I feel slightly dodgy on, probably Tim will take over, or just be there saying, "Hold on a minute, next thing coming up," you know.
Samples, it's Michael Bunce.
Yes. Listen, I'm gonna be real. Wrexham made more noise than that. If you want one more tune, make some fucking noise right now, bro.
MC Rec. I've seen him blossom over the last few months.
Gonna tell you that life's all good if the truth be told. It's not how it's good, that is bad. I feel the opposite of sad. Feel insane in the brain for a slash fucking man.
You know, he came on board as he never rehearsed with us, and he just kind of stepped in. And when the first gigs we did, he was like a crowd hype MC only, and he was really good. You know, he impressed us immensely. But he's gradually developed and grown in the band so that he's now singing. But he's coming into the rehearsal studio, getting on the mic. We're all there. He's not fazed by the fact that, you know, we've all got a lot of musical years behind us.
Because I mean, like, there's like, he's 27 or something, I'm 41, it's like age difference, and there's like, you do get stigma with people in every type of music, whether it's drum and bass or jazz or anything, and it's like, oh, you're a bit old for that, or you're a bit, and it's like, fuck it, man, I don't give a shit.
Never seen one of those before in my life.
He's an amazing vibe MC.
It's the fucking bomb, isn't it?
He really connects with crowds. Like, I haven't seen that many MCs have that kind of interaction with crowds.
Wreck, I never knew that I'd be sharing a stage with like an amazing MC, like just having such a laugh and dancing about the stage with each other. I've learned so much about MCing from him, because he's like really out there. He's really brilliant.
Rec is like the most improved MC, I think, in drum and bass, like, and he works really fucking hard, like for the band. He gives it everything, and he's the same. Sometimes things can flag, or crowds can be a bit, I don't know, tired or things, and he always picks it up.
I said nothing until you know who we are.
He's like made himself into a great sort of, I think, all-round MC. Like, he can MC to a lot of different styles.
I brought my sort of hip hop and sort of hype man approach to the show a lot more, and just sort of bridge the gap with the crowd, I think. Do you know what I mean? For me, my objective out there is really, like, yeah, to drop lyrics and to be in the chorus and everything, but it's also just to bridge the band and the crowd, same as when I'm working with a DJ.
Tim Landslide is a helmet.
At least I have a helmet. John's smooth all round like Action Man. Spent many hours insulting each other, which has all been part of the humour. And yeah, I've got a lot of time for John. He's a very funny bloke. Stop sucking yourself. John's sucking himself off.
You like Prince and Tony. Prince and Tony.
Going down, easy. Really.
What's going on, Sheffield? Sheffield Tuesday Club, what's going on? Are we happy, people? Now, I mean, everybody, if you got two hands, put two hands up. Let me see them hands up right now, something. Show me them twos. Rocking in Electricity or just random inside a Tuesday club. I know it may be Tuesday, but we're gonna treat this party like it's a Friday or Saturday night. Are you with me, Sheffield? Somebody make some noise right now. Shit right here, some fire alarm shit. There's not even a fire in the building, but because of little regulations, everyone's got to get out. It's bullshit. I'm not in it.
Stay back here. Just stay back here for now.
This is not how we planned to start the set, but it's kind of dramatic.
Step away, please.
We're all fucking geared up to start with Hanging Rock, and we started it on the intro.
That was a nice start as well. I know. We had that start, man. It was as soon as it drops into it, it all went.
And just on the drop, someone set the fire alarm off, which cut all the power on stage.
I was just thinking, oh mate, please don't be the sampler. Please don't be the... That was so dark. That's what I thought it was, man. So did I. I love that, because when he says, like, so did I, that means both of you, isn't it, Tone? I love that. I love that one. That's wicked.
Somehow we kind of started again after that, after about half an hour, and all the equipment had gone wrong on stage. We were dreadful. truly musically appalling. Although we were doing our best, but because we looked like we were having it, the crowd loved it. And in terms of audience response, it's probably one of the best gigs we've ever done.
We just encourage each other to have it, you know, just play hard. We like playing fast, so we encourage each other, push each other.
That's what it's about. Like, it's about getting on stage and all connecting with each other. And it's great. Like, everyone in the band encourages each other's like own musical performance. When someone plays well, like, everyone knows it. We know it when we play with each other.
We'll look after each other on stage and hope that the audience do too. So when you see that happening, that's amazing.
London Electricity is not a moody band. We're not cool. We're much too old to try and look cool within a drum and bass context as in any way, apart from maybe Rec or Jungle. We just fucking have it, and that's the bottom line.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Jungle drummer inside the place. Nobody can touch him. Nobody like it.
To watch him is nuts. Unfortunately, I face that way when we're playing, and he's behind me, and I can't see a lot of the stuff he's doing. But you know what I mean. Just when I'm in rehearsal and I'm standing next to him, I'm watching him, and I'm just like, you know what I mean. I don't understand how it's possible to have that much coordination at that speed, to be able to think that quickly, do those things, and physically as well. Like, he's not fit. You know, he's not like an athlete. He doesn't go jogging, Jungle.
Sometimes can't believe how fast that guy can play. Just hits him so hard as well. Terrifying drummer. Terrifying.
He's aggy, he's aggressive on stage. He ain't like any other drummer that I've ever seen or worked with.
He's a unique drummer. He doesn't play like any other drummer. And it's been just a real privilege to watch him play and to watch him evolve and develop. And he is an amazing talent.
I'm playing a bit more rhythmically. I'm trying not to overplay and make it just really fucking powerful, a lot of swing. So sometimes I make mistakes, man, but I can never just play one beat on kick, hi-hat and snare. I can, but Jungle, I like to spread it around and have different sounds and a different like visual aspect for the crowd. It's got to be visual.
Can't deal with performing badly. Like, I can't stand it.
Man, I tried my best, man. I just couldn't fucking shit, man. I just couldn't even remember.
It fucks with me for days afterwards, and I think I bring what I brought to the band was in a way like in some respects a bit of paranoia.
That was the fucking hardest show, man, I've ever done.
Because I was constantly didn't want to let people down, didn't want to let myself down.
I'm sorry, man, I just couldn't.
No, don't, man, don't apologise, that'd be stupid.
Fuck me. Go on, George, ask me a stupid question like, are you tired? Yes, George, I'm fucking knackered.
Like, it's taxing on the body, but I mean that's what makes it a bit of a buzz in a sort of sick way, like the pain.
Oh, thank you.
Chris, why don't you ask him if you can go into the office and get changed?
Yeah, Leo,
Leo, go and sort out the office.
John will need someone to change.
And sort that out before he dies.
Yeah. Mate, sit down.
Yeah, no, that's just I've rocked a lot of men to play with this time. Do you know what I mean? It's rumble. The last couple of years, I've just been really rumble.
If you can imagine a 4-year-old trapped inside the body of a 28-year-old that's probably got the physique of an 84-year-old.
Tone, can I throw peanuts at the people queuing up?
You kind of, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of odd. It's weird, you'd have to spend some close time with him to really understand.
He's just amazing. He's so funny, really witty and funny and incredibly cultured and I just love that, and really political.
Look, Tory,
and brings it all to everyone in such a sort of unselfish way.
Wanker. Look.
She heard that.
A unique character, and you know, at moments in the band we would have you know, kind of little bitch fights, I suppose, but that was always part of the fun with Jungle. You know, he finds the thing you least want to talk about, and he talks about it all day long.
What gig have you thought, this band's bollocks, I want to shut it down? And what parts of the show did you hate the most? Who did you hate?
So, you know, it's kind of quite an interesting experience psychologically to have all your kind of demons exercised in public.
And we'll all be honest about it.
This is truth.
And it's like a rugby match, isn't it? We'll all go home mates at the end of the day.
But yeah, quite, you know, quite rewarding in the end, I suppose.
I do sum him up, like he's stiffing, isn't he?
Last night, we all got it wrong. We've got to go on stage tonight, enjoy it, positive tone. One gig, no pressure. If we're nervous, we will make mistakes. That's what I'm saying, Tone. To go on stage with a... Hello? Lee. Oh, mate, I'm right in the middle of like a deep one. It's a 2-hour set, Tone. That's what I'm saying. We have to have a little bit of time at the end of a tune just to fucking sometimes take a few deep breaths, man, because we're doing everything so quick.
No, yeah,
like,
especially for you.
Yeah, just a little bit of a breather.
About like track 8, track 7, track 8, I'm going to introduce the band. Because that takes about 3 minutes and I'll give Jungle a little
We need
rest.
to waste time, Tone, so we can have a little bit of a breather. That's what I'm saying,
That's what this whole team's all building up to.
We need to waste the breaks.
I have to feel like shit before I perform. I have to like beat myself up, talk to myself in order to do a good show, because I think when you get overconfident, you're not the same performer. So then when you get on stage, it's like a fucking release.
So you're looking forward tonight?
Yes, mate. Home crowd for me tonight, man. Home crowd, bro.
So yeah, we're in Exeter. I'm not really sure the name of the venue, but it's really, the Phoenix. Thank you. We're in the Phoenix in Exeter.
Hey, look, as soon as I'm finished, we'll have a drink and shit.
All right, then.
Yeah, nice one. Get on. Wicked. Fucking hell, mate.
Doing a little gig tonight. Cleveland Watkins and Bachifa down. Nicky Black Market. Rodney P supposed to show up. And yeah, it should be alright. And then we've got a little hectic drive to London for Fabric. Got to be there at 3 o'clock. So as long as we don't crash, should be a good night.
think I had literally something like 2¼ hours or something to get from Exeter to Fabric in Shoreditch. It was organised pretty well because I was outside with the engine running in the car already.
Shit, where's I?
Rushed outside, got in the car, and it was like a little getaway vibe.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Get your ass out of the way, woman.
The clutch started slipping on the Audi.
It's the clutch burning. It's gone.
Somehow we got there just in time. In fact, I think I was about 20 minutes early.
On a Friday and Saturday night, it's like full on, you know. It's like you could be like that night there. I started just before Tony and Elektricity, London Elektricity. I started in Exeter, then went up to Milton Keynes, and I finished late in Hastings. So I did a little bit of travelling that night. Yeah.
Who was driving that night?
Me. It was just me, myself, and I that night. A few Red Bulls.
He must have been doing like 150 miles an hour between each of those gigs to make that. But that's Nicky. He'll do that 2 nights every week. He'll do that Friday and Saturday every weekend.
Tony, I see, like myself, as a bit of a workhorse and a workaholic, you know, which I can't see. A bit of work didn't kill anybody, you know. I could see it as a good thing, especially running the label. He's out on road DJing and the live thing as well, you know, selling records as well. The whole thing, you know, it's all part and parcel of the whole thing, you know, the whole circle of the music thing. Good.
Tony, really hard working, one of the most like hard working people out there.
Tony, the boss, Sergeant Mustards. Yeah, Tony, like, fucking hell, hats off to him because he made it all happen, and he did something that no one else has ever done, and make a drum and bass band fully live. And I think to have the balls to do that, and to do it well, and to sort of not be satisfied until it's firing, and to keep that sort of commitment and drive and sort of passion for it is to be credited. Do you know what I mean? Like,
real enthusiastic guy. So I mean, he's done a lot. Done a lot of. You've got to give him credit for all the shit that he's done as well in the past, and all the people that he kind of encourages and stuff. I mean, he's dogmatic. He just goes at it. If he believes in something, he believes in it.
Tony is just like, I've known him for about 10 years now, and he sort of gave me the opportunity to be in this band, and he's just like, his vision of music is that big, it's amazing, and he just sort of lives it. He lives music, and he's great. He's a laugh, and he's really strict with us sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, mate?
Yeah.
Cheers.
You're allowed to.
He can be as gentle as he can be harsh, you know.
Okay, that's nice to meet you. I've got a DVD and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah,
Fucking, it's got fucking Sheffield University on it as well, hasn't it? 2 tracks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
different drum and
Yeah.
What's that? Never
My dream.
Yeah, that's what it's got on it, yeah.
Richie moment coming.
Nice one, but alright, fucking hell, that's nice to meet you, anyway, yeah. Play drums, alright, drum and bass, but yeah, nice to meet you.
You're gonna stand
Nice one, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Enjoy the gig,
Yeah, I live fucking in Halifax, I have to trek
Oh,
here
wicked,
tonight,
well done,
yeah,
nice one.
nice, don't worry about it.
Oh, I see.
So we're just having little meetings, so...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, mate.
As long as you're not taking piss out of me.
I'm not taking the piss. I want to talk through the set list with everyone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
We've had,
Oh, shit, man,
we've had
no.
a really stressful sound check.
It's been 4-hour sound check.
Yeah.
4-hour sound check?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it doesn't sound too pleasant to me, fucking hell. This has been here for 4 hours.
We've been here longer than 4 hours, actually. But...
5 o'clock, man.
Yeah.
Sat in here for about 3 hours?
No, we've been just getting the gears, going here.
We've only just sat in here.
He's been a real kind of mentor to me in my music career, in my music production, watching how he works, learning from him.
Like, he sort of helped me be a much better drummer. From a raging bull into sort of I think I said this before, but it's definitely true that musically he sort of enabled me to be a better musician and a better drummer.
It's the most tired I've felt for ages, yeah.
That means that you want to learn. You could just lose it any minute. I love that about you, Tone. It's a new you. It's a new you, like back to the old days. Wicked. You're nice, isn't it, Tone? And then you could just lose it.
Volatile.
Landslide used to be like that.
Got that inside of me, inside the place, so that just me, big things. Lots of $1 million gravy. The young man that told you.
There's never been any shortage of motivation. I mean, you don't need it. It's kind of self-fulfilling. It's like as soon as we meet up at an airport or we meet up here to get in the van, that's it. We're having a laugh. We're nice. We're all together. There's no ego issues with London Elektricity.
I love you. I don't even lime you. I love you.
We love each other very much, and we enjoy every minute of our company.
Who's still standing?
Oh, you're the best.
I could not have done half of what I've done over the last 2 years without I. I is my wife, as anyone who's come to our gigs know. She's been more than a rock to me. She's been part of me in all of this. She's come to nearly every gig. She's been running the hospital merchandise shop, but it's more than that. The moral support, the love. She's dedicated her life to hospital and to London Elektricity.
Little stash there. The one for later.
In London Elektricity, the Water Pistols fulfil several roles, the primary one of which is stress relief. Very effective.
Working hard.
Why are you deciding to film now?
Yeah.
Give us a fucking hand.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was trying to persuade them not to film now.
The Water Pistols, it's just a bit of light relief, really. You probably kind of realise what's going on there is that really, a lot of the time we just want to shoot each other. You know, we just want to kind of. It's an easy way of shooting each other, of letting out sort of frustration and anger.
That's not your gun. Put it away.
He's like the guy that sort of initiates all the sort of funny little games we'll play. He's the guy that'll go out and buy the BB guns.
It's wise, be nice. You
Look.
Because if you are rude, I'm going to do that.
Guys.
Don, it's a world of pain.
It's a world of pain, Dan.
He's the guy that get the water pistol and give everyone a little weenie water pistol and then pull out some fucking backpack, strap, fucking gat, you know what I mean, and just jet somebody in the chest. He's clever, Tim. He's snidey. Clever, you got to watch him, but he's funny, lovely guy, man.
One of the unique things about this band is that no one's been able to hide behind any sort of airs or graces or put up any sort of projection of their persona or personality. It's all been stripped away and beaten until you've got nothing left. But that's been part of the experience. It reminds me of that kind of golden time when you have a set of really good friends when you're at school and you go out all the time and you have a laugh and you insult each other but you love each other.
The law of the jungle is by far the oldest law.
Landslide, just landslide. is just amazing. I mean, his brain, I don't know how he controls it all, just what he does, and his musical knowledge. When we've had chats like away from the stage, you know, and he talks about things harmonically and rhythmically, because he teaches as well, he's like a lecturer. He's like a Professor Boffin of the goodness knows what.
I don't think it would be possible for the band to have existed and happened without Tim, and Tim helping tone and...
Brilliant person to have on stage, like metronomic timing, like an unsung hero in the band.
Listen, that's life.
Like the improvisation sort of sometimes can come from Tim, because he's like the backbone with what he does with the samples along the tone.
Musicians have to play with the sample, and really what's happening here is we're playing with the musicians, and you know, the musicians feed off how we play. So it's a live dynamic in that sense. So in some ways I'm kind of a bit of a live sequencer. Why am I an unsung? Why does everyone say I'm the unsung hero? I don't actually know. I think they're just being kind and nice, actually. Being nice to Landslide.
So, I mean, a while ago you were nominated for some BBC Jazz Awards.
I was,
Could you tell us the whole story behind
Well, I was playing here in Ronnie's actually last April, I think it was. I got a phone call from the BBC saying, oh, you've been nominated for Best of Jazz Award on the BBC Jazz Awards. And then later on I found out at the launch that I'd also been nominated for Jazz Vocalist of the Year, which is like mega for me. That was nice. I know people say that, I genuinely didn't think I stood a chance of winning either award. I wasn't really that bothered either. It was just like, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, that nice to be nominated shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it was, and I was more nervous about the fact that I had to sing one of my own songs with Guy Barker Big Band behind me. That was like a real treat for me, and I was more worried about that. And so I went along, and it was all lovely in rehearsals, and everyone was being a little bit sort of, oh yes, you can't go in there yet, they're just rehearsing that bit. And I thought, well, why can't I go in there, you know? And it turns out that I won both awards. I actually won both. The first time that anyone's won 2 awards in 1 year.
Can I get some noise for Leanne Carroll inside the house, please? Right about there.
In the 2 days off that you had from Bristol, what did you do? What did you get up to?
Drive.
For peace of mind.
Go to hotels. Hang around at sound checks. What else do we do? And squirt a few water pistols, you know. Everyone does various different things within the band, and like, yeah, driving the van is a big responsibility, a bit of a kind of a chore in some ways. So again,
not in some ways. Driving the van is like a job in itself, because you've got to be then concentrated. Again, you can't relax in those times you're driving the van, and that's a job in itself.
I know it's tough for you, and to be honest, no one else wants you to drive, and that's not a driving issue. That's just because the strain and stress it puts on you, and I don't think that's a fair situation either.
I think if Leo was 3 years older, then he could drive.
Well, yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Come in and fuck you.
The things people do when they're pushed to the edge are funny.
Of course he is! Yes, oh, pathetic.
And, you know, I think everyone went through stages of going a little bit mad.
You're not really in touch with what's going on. You know, your mates know you're away, so you're not getting so many calls. You're living in a bubble, and it's like emotionally sort of quite intense.
I mean, I had the whole fucking set and nothing on monitor. Do you know what I mean? I'm fucking pissed off. Really? He wouldn't turn it up. Dust my voice for it. You know what I mean? I'm fucking pissed off.
But the cool thing with the band is everyone knows each other so well, in and out, that they kind of know when someone's having a down day, just let them chill and have a bit of me time.
You deserve to have that moment though, because you really did. You were completely brilliant in the face of adversity, man. Honestly.
I'll be honest, your space, that was your space to spaz out. Don't fucking do it again.
Somewhere, fuck's sake.
You really are spinning me out today.
You know what I mean?
What has happened to you?
Not eating properly on tour, not sleeping properly on tour, smoking too much weed on tour, too many late nights, too much travelling, and you feel terrible. But then when you go on stage, I don't know what it is, just like the adrenaline kicks in, because when you're on the edge, the rawness really comes out in the performance. And especially with someone like Leanne, that's mental, do you know what I mean? Because when you catch that, when Leanne is raw and hasn't slept and is mashed, like sometimes you get the most amazing shit, and same with Jungle, Andy, to everybody really.
Doing gigs where like you're throwing up just before, like the other, throwing up loads just before you go on stage, actually throwing up on stage, there's another thing I had to wear around the back, things like that, and passing out, and just because, like we were saying, just because you're tired or your throat's gone, and the thing about touring, it's not that we're sort of pussies about touring, we've just toured and we haven't been given great big luxury coaches and entourages and bollocks to that. That's not what it's about. You lose all sense of what you're doing if you do that. We've been right down underneath it, and that's great, man. That's really worth it. It's a really worthwhile learning curve.
The hardest thing for me about making 2 albums, touring them live, running a label, and being a DJ has been. It's actually made me really ill, physically ill. My body just gave up in October 2005. Just started to give up. No, I just want to say everybody, massively well done. Really, I think everyone was like 100% effort. You know, we all made fuck ups.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I find it hard to sit back and allow myself to think, look, you can take your time. You know, you're not starting out. You know, you're 45 years old. You're not just starting out. You know, you've actually got a roof over your head. You don't need to kill yourself by doing this. But I find that really hard, and it's a lesson I'm trying to learn. You know, even I'm middle-aged now and I still can't learn it. I'm very manic in the way I approach my work. I throw too much energy into it a lot of the time and then kind of fall flat on my face. And we've been doing it for nearly 3 years, and that's been, for me, the biggest focus in my life. You know, I've tried to do all the other things that I do while keeping the live band going, and my body has told me that it's not possible.
You know, being the boss, running the label, MDing the band, being the sort of poster boy of the band, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot, and I think like physically, like it took a lot, and emotionally, it zapped him.
Tony was saying he'd been thinking about it all. He'd been thinking about how far the band go, and also like when you stop when you're on a high, and we really are on a high. If you stop when you're on a high, that's better than letting it just go over the hill and then start going down, because so many bands do that. And it's like a greedy thing in a way. They just want to hold on to it for as long as they can, rather than actually leave a bit of a legacy.
People sitting here they're maybe watching this DVD for the first time, they can't sit there and be like, they're just money motivated, because that's fucking bollocks. Like, I've done this for like 3 years, and you know, like 3 years is if you're starting to do really well and, you know, earn good money and get on TV and all that thing, it's worth doing. It's worth doing.
And everyone was feeling like it's hard work. 3 years of doing the circuit on that level is tough.
I think you can only play things like so many times before, you know, you want to do like play something new and do something new. But that's why it's good to end it now on a high.
I'm going to miss every moment of it, and we have had an incredible time. And for me, I've never been
a fully live musician. I've been a studio-based musician. I've always had a massive urge to be in a band, go touring, and this has really completed that whole yearning and that whole desire to do that.
It has just been my life. It's been like a mental journey, and you know, a massive thing to be a part of.
Big up to everyone who came along for the ride and just, you know, got into it.
And I would just say to them, thank you, you know what I mean? It's been an absolute pleasure.
If there was anything you could say to the band, to London Electricity now, what would you say?
Oh, put the kettle on. I'll be round for all of you. Yeah, look out, they'll be stalking you all. And thank you very much. Oh, don't do that to me. Fuck. No. Yeah, I didn't know you were going to ask that one. Yeah, you'll fuck off, that's what you can do.
I'm sorry I wasn't a bundle of laughs all the time. And I should have shone a bit more, I know that, but it's been wicked. It's been absolutely wicked. It has been the best 2 years of my life, and to share them with you has been absolutely amazing.
Clap your hands up. Make some noise, dance on with me. Leanne Cohen, Jungle Time, Tony Carter, Landslide,